Listen to me. You don't know my story like I don't know your story. Like we don't know a lot of people's story. We walk around, we get up with intention to share everybody's life, what they're doing, who they're doing it with, how they're doing it, how they got their money, how they got their house, how they got their car, how they got their mates, how they got their job, how they came on the come up. You don't know nobody's story. You don't know the behind the scenes and the struggles and the tears they cried, the sleepless nights, the time that they walked the floor backwards and forward to get the things that they got. You don't know nobody's story. You don't know nobody's story that they went to the doctor and they got a diagnosis that 3 days from now, you may not even be living. You don't know nobody's story. You don't know nobody's story. Maybe somebody's loved one has been told tomorrow you need to pull the plug. Or how about this one? They unlocked the door of a person that they care about house and there they was stretched out across the floor. You don't know nobody's story. One day you're up, the next day you could be down. Life is funny. It can turn at a blink. You can be having everything going right for you, and the next day it can go so wrong. So while you are sitting there, while you are contemplating, while you are wondering, trying to figure it out how you're going to pull the rug from under somebody's feet, you don't know nobody's story. And you also need to realize the same trickery that you try to do to somebody else may be the same trickery that throw you off into a ditch somewhere. So before you do what you do, before you say what you say, before you act the way you act, and before you cause some negative domino effect in somebody's life, you need to think twice about that. You don't know nobody's story. See, people smile through a lot of things. They make all this look good. And on the inside, there's demolition going on. On the inside, they're crumbling. On the inside, they're falling apart. You don't know nobody's story. We walk around here and we share people's business and we have no idea. They make it seem like life is good. They make it seem like everything is hunky-dory. They make it seem like everything is going right. But you don't know nobody's story. You don't know that maybe last week they got a pink slip and they surviving off the little money that they had. You don't know nobody's story. Yes, they get up and they come outside faithfully every day and they say good morning, hello, how you doing? But they ain't got no food in their refrigerator. You don't know nobody's story. We get up on Sunday morning, we dress up, we show up in God's house, fully dressed, and ain't giving nothing to nobody and ain't helping nobody with nothing. You don't know nobody's story. You're going through social media. You won't like the page, but you'll follow the page to see what they're doing, how they getting along. You don't know nobody's story. And for some of you all, who have taken, who have done somebody wrong, who have destroyed their life, who have not paid back loans, who have not apologized, who have used, manipulated, and abused that person and caused them to be in the situation they're in. You don't know nobody's story. But what I say that I love, and I would never turn from this, I would stand on it with 10 toes down. God knows the reasons why you do what you do. He knows your purpose. He knows your motives. He knows your intentions. And he knows what's coming genuinely from your heart. And the greatest thing of all, he keeps the best notes ever. His memory is amazing. His timing is impeccable. Because you got to know all the dirt, all the foolishness, all the hatefulness that you do to somebody, especially people that you say you love, that is coming back to you. Because the Bible says, vengeance is mine, said the Lord, I will repay. So before you get up with intention, before you even contemplate thinking about destroying somebody's life, creating havoc in somebody's life, look at the mirror at yourself, because you don't know nobody's story. You don't know. The one thing that you contemplate on doing may be the very thing that caused them to unalive themselves. You don't know that. So before you set your traps, before you dig your ditch, before you create your holes, before you lie and tell your stories, before you make somebody look bad, before you destroy somebody's character, before you speak down on somebody, you need to know you just may be that individual that caused that person to do something that is so detrimental to themselves that you yourself didn't even think about it. See, we need to be mindful of what we do, what we say, and how we treat people. And the funny thing about all of this, the very thing that you do to somebody else, you definitely would not want it done to you. So before you mess up somebody else's lifeline, think twice, think 3 times. Many times does it take so you cannot do what you intended on doing. And a lot of y'all need to go back and apologize and say, I'm sorry for the things that you did intentionally, for the hurt and the harm that you caused somebody. But you got to know, when you're doing what you're doing, you don't know nobody's story. You don't know the mess and the madness they already dealing with. So you need to be careful and you need to be cautious of what you do, because you truly don't know nobody's story. So before you put your mouth on somebody, I suggest you keep your lips closed, because you don't know nobody's story. They make it look easy, but it ain't always easy. Think about it. What you want somebody to do to you, what you have done to somebody else. Be careful. Be mindful. God is watching. He sees all and he knows all. And you need to think about some things. You need to regroup and reroute